All right, what's up, guys? If you haven't heard already, some of you may know, we are going Bagger Racing League racing in 2025. We're going to be building two bikes. We're going to have a bike built for the Pro Stock class, the bike that I've been running in the years past. We're currently rebuilding that motorcycle, and this beautiful bike behind us, this Road Glide, it's all stretched out. It's got a nice stretch tank, some ape hangers, all the cool guy stuff. We're going to turn that into a super street bike. And we're going to let our guy J.O., my podcast co-host and right-hand man around here at the shop, he's going to be racing it this year. Jay, I know you've been wanting to do it for a long time, but kind of like give us a rough idea, you know, kind of what you're thinking right now. This is your first ever racing of any type, right?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I'm going into this just straight blind. I've been watching this guy probably about 10 years rip the track. And when the BRL came up and started watching that, I mean, just kind of one of those things where I want to go give it a shot. You know, always did the canyons on the back. Corners is what I love doing, and always want to give this a shot. I'm not getting any younger, and Tony here's making it happen, man. So I'm fired up. I'm really going to be leaning on this guy and anybody out there for pointers, and just ready to get after it and give it a shot.
Yeah, and one of the purposes for this video and this video series that we're going to create through this bike build is to kind of educate you guys on what it takes to get into racing and what it takes to take a street legal road glide from the street to the track. And we're going to walk you through that through this video series, kind of the key components, the key parts, the things you need to do as the racer. And if you guys have any questions or comments on the build, please drop comments down below, shoot us an email, give me a call. We'd love to help you guys get out there and go racing with us. So without further ado, we're gonna tear into this thing, and hopefully in about 2 hours, it'll be down to the frame and motor and start to rebuild into a actual race bike. So let's get going. We also just need to thank our sponsor, the La Tigers. Thank you for helping us make these videos happen. If you're ever in need, contact the La Tigers. Okay, we're about an hour in. This is how far we got. Got the rear section all taken apart, tank taken apart, exhaust, intake. We're chugging along. Hour in, this is how easy it is. 1 hour's work, and this is where you could be. So we're gonna keep plugging away on this thing. We'll probably call it a night here at some point and get back after it tomorrow, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so we got the frame all stripped down. I am missing my co-host, J.O. He called in sick today. He's got a hurt tummy, so I'll finish out the video today. But we came in today, we got the frame stripped down, ready to go to powder coat. We're sending it to powder coat only because we want to. It isn't necessary for this build, but we're building a pro stock bike as well, and we're gonna build these bikes to match just for the team aspect and the shop aspect. But just know that that isn't necessary. You don't gotta go this far on a super street build. So we got this ready. In upcoming episodes, we're going to be walking you through what it takes to rebuild this bike. We're gonna go over topics like engine, suspension, chassis, hand and foot controls, body work, and all the necessary components that need to go into it. We're also going to be going over what it takes to get into bagger racing, the requirements as far as rules and regulations on you and the motorcycle, the safety gear required. We're going to talk about how to get your race license, how to go out and get some track time, practice time before you go racing, and stuff like that. Here in a minute, I'm going to talk about platform choice, the correct kind of bikes to go out and shop for, and the preferred ones and the ones that are allowed. And I'll talk about that here in a minute. But just know that in upcoming episodes, we have about 6 or 7 episodes upcoming that's going to walk you through how to build the bike and how to get into racing. So let's talk about platforms. Platforms, what I have here is I have a 2017 Road Glide that has a salvage title. I was able to buy it for fairly cheap. I think you can go out and buy one, you know, on some of the wrecked auctions in different places for, you know, $4 or $5 grand maybe, depending on how wrecked it is. Just pay attention. You want to find really what you need is a good frame and drivetrain. Make sure that the frame is straight. make sure the motor's in good condition, because that's really what you're going to need. You're really going to want to probably get rid of a lot of the other stuff and rebuild it from there. So that's what we did. We have a Milwaukee 8 powered Road Glide. Now the Milwaukee 8 is, I think, the preferred motor in the class. You are limited to 117 cubic inches on the M8. That's what we're going to be building. We're building a 117. If you were able to find like a Road Glide ST or a Street Glide ST, comes stock with a 117, you're already there. You are allowed to throw like a bolt-in cam in it and get a little more horsepower that way. So that would be nice. You can run a twin cam in this class up to 124 cubic inches. I think the twin cam, if you're running a 124, you're going to be pretty close in horsepower. If you're going to be running a twin cam, say like a 96 or a 103 version, you're going to be probably down 20 or 30% in the horsepower world. So you'd be kind of disadvantaged. But if that's what fits your budget to get into racing, is, you know, finding a less expensive kind of starter platform and it's a twin cam, definitely do it. And then maybe as things progress, you can start building that motor up to a 110 or a 117 or a 124 with a cam and different components, and try and get up to that 120 horsepower range. I think is kind of the max in this class out of some of these 117s and stuff. You can also run an Indian Challenger if you wish. The Indian is allowed. It is limited to stock displacement, which I think the current ones are 107, 108. Don't quote me on that, but I haven't seen any Indians yet, but possibly this season we'll see if any show up. And the other thing to talk about is, you know, the model that you start with, whether it be Road Glide, Street Glide, or possibly even Road King. My preferred, and I think the best way to go, is Road Glide. I think the Road Glide provides the best kind of aero. It's mounted to the chassis and not to the front end, so you get a little bit more, you know, or less wind kind of affecting the front end with the Road Glide. You can run the Street Glide, but you have those downsides. I don't think it's as aerodynamic. You do get a lot of wind buffeting, air kind of affecting the front end and handling. So I don't think it's as preferred, but there are a few guys that are running them. Or you have the option, if you can find a Road King, no fairing, you are required to have a fairing. It has to be a Harley fairing. It has to be a Road Glide or a Street Glide fairing. So you could buy a Road King, buy all the fixtures, you know, mounting, you know, brackets and stuff like that, and buy a fairing. You could buy OEM, or you could even buy one off of eBay for cheap and bolt it up to the bike and have it kind of legal. The Super Street class does require, if you're running the Harley setup, you have to have an outer and an inner fairing. You have to have both in the Super Street class. You don't in the Pro Stock or Bagger GP, but Super Street requires the inner. The rules are a little gray there as far as what's required inside. So we're opting to pull the guts out. We're basically pulling all the audio out, pulling the radio deck and the speakers, because all that stuff's really heavy. So if you found a Road Glide, real easy modification is just remove that. You just shed a bunch of weight. Or if you're buying the Road King, you don't have to buy the audio stuff. Just buy a outer and inner shell and the mounting bracketry, turn it into a Road Glide. So a couple of possibilities on platform choices. If you have more questions, please drop them in the comments below. Just know we have more episodes upcoming talking about how this bike's going to go back together. We're going to be talking about engine, suspension, brakes, chassis, everything related to going into it, and all the topics needed to know to get into bagger racing. Safety gear, rules, everything you're going to need. Hopefully at the end of this series, you're going to be pretty educated and hopefully start shopping for a bike, and we'll see you out on the racetrack soon. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes.